conditions that he's in. And when he goes to school, it's a different matter. He is bullied all the time, has no friends whatsoever, feels alone, he feels worthless, he feels like nobody really cares. He feels that everybody is loved by their families and everybody's loved by God, but he feels that God made a huge mistake in the generation that he was placed in. So one night, he goes into the kitchen when everyone else is asleep, and he attempts to kill himself by taking one of the kitchen knives and stabbing it into his throat. This is just a story that I know, and there are lots of other kids that feel this way, even like young teens. So, and like even just the suicides in the U.S. alone, they just number like 38,000 on average, and that's just in the U.S. And that's like the total number, but the average like would be like up to like 8 to 9 of the 12.4 would be either teens or would be kids because of things like this. This is just one of the things that they go through. Now, like, why should we discuss this? Because we know that we have organizations that are out there to help these kids and be able to support them and try to let them know that they are cared about. Unfortunately, in this day and age, which has been going on for quite some time, is that there are adults out there that think it's just a common thing. It's just the way how they take it. That's how they build up their personality. And so they say, for the bullies, they just say, oh, they're just expressing their personality. That's just them. Let them be. And I have a few words I want to say to them, but I'd rather not. So I'll be, the nicest way I can say it is that Jesus said a generation of vipers, son of a snake in modern terms. That's the nicest I'll go. And there are other people out there that they don't notice the pain at all. They don't see any of the signs. And they don't realize that kid wants to end his or her life until it's too late to do anything about it. And however, some people out there in the world actually use these youngsters' depressing feelings for their own advantage, like Islam. That there are young men out there that they feel like they're trying to match up to, be like close follower with Allah, and they serve him, but they know they can't do it. So the priests, they just come up and say, well, here's a little proposition for you. Now, I'm not saying that you have to do it. Well, technically, they want you to do this. They say, well, one way that you can get yourself into that heaven where you have your multiple of wives and slaves is by that you kill yourself but also you have to bring a bunch of Christians or like any other that are not Islamic people down with you. Now, that's just a suggestion. And besides it, even if you would do this, we promise we will take care of your family. And unfortunately, lots of these young boys, they think that that's the only option that they got in order to go into eternity of peace. So, like, how do these youngsters feel, like teens and below? Well, they feel like pretty like worthless. Like nobody's really paid enough like attention to them. Like some people, they try to pay some attention, but then they're trying to be friends with other people at the same time, and they they mean well, but sometimes if they just causes problems of not being able to be with them. They also also feel lots of these people feel like they're not noticed. That from how I can see what people like this can see is that they see that they're just a shadow going along. Like you walk through the school halls, and the person's not there, but the shadow's there, and nobody notices. You never notice. Like they feel just never noticed at all. They feel hopeless that no one will ever notice them or ever think they're of worth. And it's pretty hard to take. And of course, like some of the causes, like one is bullying. That's one of the main ones there. So like they say, like from 2 to 9, like bullying victims are between like 2 to 9 times more likely to consider suicide than non-victims. So that's, if we were able to find a way of stop bullying in a better like lowering it, a really good deal, there would be a lot less suicidal things. And like due to now that we have cyberbullying, like have any of you heard of a girl named Amanda Todd? Anybody? Sad story, wasn't it? Amanda Todd was a young teen who was, she accidentally did something horrible, like not what she should be doing, and then she just kept on being bullied about it until one day she ended her life. And when I looked up her date, which was more horrific to me, was that she killed herself on October 10th, which was actually on my birthday as well. So like now whenever I think of my birthday coming up, I always have to remember when she took away her life. And like also one of the other causes is just being ignored, that people just like, they don't really care about them. They just avoid them. They want nothing to do with them. And which is a common thing, but some people they take it that they say, oh, someone else will come eventually. But some people the ones that want to commit suicide are just saying that I've been around for a long time and no one is paying any attention whatsoever. And the third cause I have here is that some grew up in poor conditions, which is like for the Islamic kind of boys that they have to go through, all the things they have to go through. There's no wealth really going around, and they know that they're just like dead weights for with their family, because every person you have, the more money is going to require to get more food and everything. They know that if they kill themselves, and the extra money they'll come in, the more food that his family will have. And he wants to help his family, and he'll do whatever he needs necessary to help them out. Now how we can fix these kind of problems is to show these people that we care, and we have to show them that in the way that we care, we just can't just go up to them and say, hey, we understand that you're going through, and we want to help you out in any way we can, but then you try to help others, which then they'll kind of feel that if they don't know the true facts, they'll just think that you're just saying that, but you don't mean it. So that you need to be constant with them, so that their feeling of being worth something starts to build up. And another way you can do it is introduce them to other people that have gone through this similar struggles, you might know a friend who's been struggling with the same thing, and introduce them to each other so they can discuss why they're that way, and then they get to know that, hey, I'm not the only one who feels this way, and this person has gone through these similar situations, and seems to care about me as well. And the last thing, which is actually the most crucial that we can do, is share God's love with them. If course, God always calls us to spread His love to every single person we meet. And sometimes that we fail to do that, it can result in someone ending his or her life. Because sometimes God gives us we get an open opportunity, and that person comes to us looking for something where to get worth, and they find us. But if we let them down, that might be the only chance you get. So what exactly can we do? Well, for main thing, we can take action and going to those who are hurting and help them as Jesus would. Jesus went out and he went to the people who were considered the lowest groups. The woman who had been a prostitute. He was kind to her, and yet all the righteous people, so-called, were not really kind to them at all. They just despised them. And as for us, we need to live as Christ did. And as it says in Zephaniah 3:17, your life is precious because to God you are precious. Make sure you let them know that as well. And if you want to show them some verses in the Bible, that there's plenty of stuff, but there's also walkingwounded.net where you can look up some pretty good stuff about being able to help these youngsters. So I want to ask, are you going to be, in this diagram, are you going to be this green person here who will volunteer to help them? Or will you just stand on the sidelines saying, well, someone else will come along? And now you're all probably wondering about that boy I mentioned to you earlier. Did he do it? Did he really kill himself? Well, I'm here to tell you, he's standing right in front of you, talking to you. God saved me, and I am happy that I